Hi Gemini, this is your May 2022 spiritual reading. So I'm also going to be pulling out a shadow card for those of you who are on this healing journey and want to know, want some guidance of what's hidden from you but still has an effect on your life. That will be helpful. So let's go ahead and get started. For Gemini, we have the empty room, the poet, the box, and the eternal child. And we have, that's great for Gemini, we have number 32, today for tomorrow. Looks like two twins or friends, just two individuals, that duality. All right, so you guys could have your sun in the 10th house, or your second house, or your 6th house, or you have Mercury also in Gemini. There's something where it feels like your sun, your soul, really expresses itself most in the through your career, in the area of your life where you're somehow in the spotlight. If you do have your sun in the 10th house, that's an indicator for fame, depending on the rest of your chart. But it could be that, you are either a writer or speaker that becomes very well known. For some of you, you guys might be poets, or you might write music, or being ruled by Mercury, its communication is a central, it's part of your essence. It's a big part of your life. And it feels like for some of you, it's through some heartbreak that you experience in life, whether you've already been through this or you will in the future, that kind of, it feels like this is almost like your first very deep dark night of a soul, that you come out of it aligned with what you're meant to be doing. Feels like some of you were part of your healing process and part of, getting through that journey and healing from the pain of whatever this was that came to an end is through poetry and through writing. Whatever you do for a living feels very outside of the box. It's not what most people it's not what most people do. It's very few people are able to have a career in what you're meant to have a career in. With Eternal Child, you're there's something very youthful and eternal and divine about you. It's your light. It's that Gemini energy that it feels like you always get to be that child, to really have freedom in this life, to, not be forced into adulting, in the sense that, you're not really meant to be working a 9-to-5 job. It's not, your soul that's torture for your soul. And it feels like what gets you on that path where you're able to have this financial freedom doing what it is you love and what you came here to do is through something very painful in the moment, that ends up being the greatest thing that could have happened to you, because it's through, however it is you're getting through it, it's through that poetry, or again, you could even become a speaker, it's through your journey that you're able to heal others. Whatever it is, this frees you. And we have today for tomorrow, number 32, 33 plus 2 is 5. It's like change, something coming to an end, something falling apart for something new to come into its place. And for, after 5 is 6, and 6 is very balanced. And it feels like, and like the Six of Wands is all about success. That's the card that popped into my mind. And it's like, through something that at first you wish this would have happened to you, that you don't want to be going through this, it ends up being the greatest thing. It's like that pain you experience today creates this new reality, this new path, opens this new path for you, where you have this freedom and you're able to do what you love for a living. So it's interesting. It's something that feels awful in the moment ends up being the greatest thing that happened to you. If you guys are poets or writers, know that that's a big part of your destiny. It's a big part of what you're here to do. That's, for a lot of you, that will bring in income for you guys. If you share it and if you put your work out there. Whatever it is, you're meant to, your soul is meant to be able to shine. Gemini is the sign of that child. It's very youthful, it's very young, and you're always meant to embrace that energy. Again, there's something about you that's very outside of the box, and it's meant to be that way. You could have like great significant aspects to Uranus with your sun, or even your 10th house. There's something very different about you that makes you shine, that brings eyes on you, that gives you that attention and that success. We were talking about the sixes. We have the Six of Swords, taking that pain and transforming it to something beautiful. Alchemy. It's all about alchemy and transforming that energy, instead of not wanting to deal with it and putting it off to the side. You're letting it move through you and onto that paper, or onto that screen, or onto that canvas. Whatever it is, you're transmuting those feelings and emotions and that experience into something very, very beautiful. We have Death, and it does feel like this all gets triggered by some significant ending. It doesn't actually have to be death, but it could be, again, a connection falling apart, a relationship coming to an end. If you've already experienced it, you'll know exactly what that is. Or like for me, for example, it was that I was on the complete wrong path career-wise, and that threw me into that dark night of a soul. And it was very, very intense, but that's what death would represent for me. So it's whatever this ending was that just triggers this healing journey for you, and that kind of like forces you to face yourself and really think about where you are and where you want to be. It's through that pain and darkness that it's that sets you free, because you're able to create beauty from it. You're able to transform it and transmute it into poetry and art and communication. We have the Five of Wands, strong 5 and 6 energies, and the 7 of Wands. Yeah, kind of, again, it feels like when everything feels very chaotic, kind of like everything is against you. Like one thing happens, whatever this ending is, and then it's like everything else gets piled on. Or when you get thrown into that journey, when you are in that underworld or in that your unconscious mind, you have to deal with many things that you haven't been wanting to deal with in a long time. A lot of trauma that you've forgotten about, a lot of pain that you've stored behind some closed door, not wanting to deal with. It's like all of a sudden they all come out, and it's like, in order for you to survive this, in order for you to make it through, you have to get it out of you. And the way you get it out of you is through writing, or again through art, just something very creative. Your sacral chakra energy. Definitely look at your fifth house, what energies, what sign is in your rules your fifth house. There's something about your creativity, and that plays a big role in your life. And again, for you to like survive this, you have to tap into that energy. You may have never even known you're an amazing poet or writer until this happens. It's like until you have this need for survival in a way, you don't realize how talented you are. We have the 10 of Pentacles, so yeah, it's through you don't write with the intention of, you know, making money from it at first. Again, it's very survival like. It's part of your healing process, and then it actually becomes something that you make an income from, and you make a good amount of money from it. Your art, your writing heals other people, or again, you could end up becoming a speaker, a healer, a guide through and helping other people go through what you experienced. We have the 9 of Cups. Yeah, it's what feels very, very dark and you wish hadn't happened to you in that moment becomes something that you look back on and are grateful for the rest of your life. So whenever we're going through something, you know, very painful or just intense, being in a situation we don't want to be in, really, instead of, you know, avoiding it and running from it, see what it has to offer you, and you will soon realize that everything is a blessing. Even what feels like the worst day of your life or the worst period of your life ends up being the best. So there's beauty and blessings and gifts and wisdom in everything that we experience, and this will help you work through it and remain present no matter what's going on, instead of, again, avoiding it and running from it and, you know, putting it deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind, and then it just erupts one day. This will help you deal with it, and it's like those periods become your greatest muse. Like, it's through that pain and any endings that you experience, any heartbreak, that you create the best art and the best your best work comes from those moments. And that's part of duality, right? Gemini being that more youthful, light energy, you kind of, throughout this experience, learn to tap into that other side, the more Scorpio side. You guys could have your North Node in Scorpio or Mercury in Scorpio, something where you're meant to experience both the light and like very, very youthful, carefree side of life, but also that very deep and dark and emotional and just spiritual healing side of life. And through that balance of these two, you create art, and that's big part of your destiny. It's what big part of why you're here, to create. You know, it's experiencing both ends, and in that middle is your art. You're able to translate it and communicate that experience to people through your work. Judgment, again, this is part of your destiny. This is part of your calling. It's what your soul came here to do, and that's why it feels like you guys will have very strong third house or Mercury, or strong, like a lot of planets in Gemini. It's communication, and also your fifth house, your creativity, are two major energies and major patterns and points in your life. But yeah, it's through that there's one very intense experience that you have that will open you up to that duality, you know, the more scorpionic, the darker, more deeper side of life. And it's at the end, you become very, very balanced, and it shows through your work. It's like throughout the years, you see the themes in your art change, and it shows how you're progressing, how your soul's progressing, the wisdom it's gained. We have the Six of Pentacles. We were saying 5 and 6. It's like you're going from that 5 energy to 6, to that success, transmuting, putting things into words, communicating, changing the way you respond to painful situations. And you find that those are the moments that you gain the most wisdom, and those gems that you end up creating art with are through what you would have in the past wished would have never happened to you, and wished you would have, never had to deal with or experience. Let's see, we'll do one more spread for you guys. But yeah, it feels like for some of you, you're about to experience this, or this will make you realize how talented you are, and will hopefully push you into sharing your work. And because this is what you're meant to be doing, you will see success from it very, 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 very quickly. Yeah, we have the Chariot. Things, after this happens, your life changes very, very fast. Things get moving, like whatever, it's this triggers a new career path for you that takes off very, very quickly. You'll see success. It's like effortless success. We have the 8 of Pentacles. This is what you're meant to be doing. The universe is fully supporting you. It's getting your work to souls that have needed to hear it, and it's just like everything's going to be taken care of as long as you don't resist and you don't run from this moment and hard times in your life, but you surrender to them and you feel them and see what they have to show you. And the way you see that, the way you understand the divinity behind everything, is through this art that you create. But this will turn into a career for you. This is something that you'll dedicate your life to, and you'll be able to dedicate your life to, and it's something that you love. It's Gemini. It is all about communication. It rules the 3rd house of mind, communicating. We have the 8 of Cups and the King of Swords. Yeah, it's through a heartache, an ending, something falling apart that you had deep feelings for and dedicated a lot of your energy to. It's having to walk away from that leads you to yourself, that leads you to your sun, your soul, your power, your destiny. With the King of Swords, this really does feel like the sun in the 10th house, like being in a very significant position, having eyes on you, having people coming to you, wanting to hear your words, wanting to see your work. There's something, this drastically changes your life, and it puts you where you need to be. Yeah, we have the Ace of Swords. It's this after this period, there are so many new beginnings in your life, and it's all because this helps shift your mindset. Again, you guys may have been, prior to this point, you guys may have been, kind of afraid of that dark energy, of that scorpionic. You prefer the light, happiness, no like deep intensity, colors, just that childlike energy, just playing. And then this makes you see the value and the power that darkness may hold. It opens you up to a whole new world. It makes you appreciate it and see it in a completely different way than you did before. So yeah, if you've already experienced this and you do create art, or you do write, or there's just a lot of wisdom that you've gained, know that it's part of your destiny to share it with the world. And again, the moment that you do, you'll immediately see things fall into place. Things change very, very quickly for you. And it feels like it's the reason you have so much success from it is because it comes from such a pure place. You don't start this because you want money. You start it because you need to heal, and it helps you get through something very, very intense. And you realize that your experiences help other people heal as well. It transforms people. So, once this gets going for you, you'll never just create art to create art. It really has to come from a deep, deep place for you. It comes straight from your subconscious mind, from that collective subconscious. You guys could also have strong 12th house energy where you're tapped into that collective energy, and you're able to show people what they need to see and what's in their own shadow, and what their soul needs to integrate. You're able to tap into that, and you're able to help them heal and help them see. We have the King of Pentacles here, a lot of success and abundance, allowing your inner child to play, but also honoring that duality, that darker side of life, that deeper sage, that wisdom, that crone energy. It's like Kore, Persephone, and Hecate, right? Hecate is that crone who's been through so much, and she becomes a guide in the underworld, whereas Kore is this child, youthful energy, always in the upper world. Everything's taken care of, playing in the flowers, and then the ground opens up beneath her. And then it's in that underworld that she becomes queen, that she steps into her power. And it feels like that is the story for you guys as well. It's when the ground beneath your feet opens up and takes you down into that underworld, into that dark night of a soul. However you survive that, whatever tool you use will change your life, will become what you're able to dedicate your life to, and you'll gain a lot of success and recognition from that. All right, Gemini, let's get an oracle card for you guys. I also am a Gemini, and this reading resonates with me more than any reading I've done for you guys. So if this resonates with you, definitely let me know, because it kind of means that we're on the same, we embody the same archetypes and have the same blueprint, similar blueprints. It's always interesting to talk to people like that, and have someone that you are experiencing very similar things with. All right, we have Moksha of Kali. Relief shall come swiftly. Soon you will see things differently. You are going to be liberated from the struggle you are currently experiencing. Be true to yourself and your life path, and you will attract the way forward. You will overcome all opposition, be released into improved circumstances, and be supported to bring your sacred path to fruition. This is exactly what we were talking about. It's in a moment where things feel not good at all. There's a tool that exposes itself to you. There's a path that allows you to get through it and to, again, kind of like survive it. And that will end up changing your life. And it's like the moment you are able to share that with the world, things just fall into place for you. That's when you're aligned to your sacred path and to your destiny. And whenever we're on that path, we're always supported. And there are so many less blockages in our lives. But yeah, Gemini, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.